guys, back garden. Oh, I love this thing. And look at this. Get above my head here. That's how to do that. Woo, right there. Famous purple potted pole bean trellis right there. It has done an amazing job. We're going to go take a look at what's going on back here. But can we say holy green, holy nitrogen? Let's take a look. All right, so we have over here the chaos garden. And it is coming through the fences, literally. So that's where we just threw all seeds that I was done with. And it has performed very lovely, where everybody gets to partake in some stuff, which is cool. Then over here, we have the biggest nasturtiums ever. Look at those size of those things. They look like lily pads. We've got lots and lots of zucchini going on, letting them go really, really big, really bloated, all that stuff, so we can go ahead and seed save from those. So that's the key to that. A lot of stuff just needs to be left out on the vine and all those things so that you can seed save from them. All right, so over here, chocolate zucchini recipe. That's going to be in my cookbook. I love that. It's one of my favorites to use zucchinis. Of course, there's zoodles or creamy spaghetti with zucchini as well. Then we have a purple potted pole bean trellis. Oh, doesn't that look so pretty? Let's go take a little gander through. Oh, isn't that so cool looking? That light coming through. So most of this is completely done. In here, we picked off a few tonight. I'm leaving the rest, again, for seed saving. Look at how fat that is. Those are some great seeds that are going to be in here. I'm going to leave this pod on for as long as possible. It's going to become brittle, like super dry and brittle, and that's the perfect seed to seed save from. I'll link a link down below for my seed saving course, or just in my video that I talk about all kinds of green, or all types of beans, not green beans, all kinds of beans. Then here's my son's very heavy, weighed down. I think he planted 10 bean seeds right there. 10, y'all. And that, look at all that he got. It's amazing. So cool. And then back here is where my mushroom experiment with. I got North Spore. I got some more spawn from the wine caps. I talked about this in another video, so I used it and I put it underneath my broccoli. I already pulled that one out. Put the straw down, put the spawn down, and then they started showing up. I thought for sure they weren't going to show up within a year, and they said, no, you're probably going to be able to get it. I'm like, dudes, I'm like in Nowhereville, in the cold. Got spider web on me. How are these mushrooms going to go that quick? They went that quick. How cool is that, huh? So we've been harvesting some of those. A lot I have left through, I didn't catch in time, but they'll spawn out and create some more. We'll see what happens when we bring, I think the sheep are going to come back here. So we'll see if that gets, disturbed too much, or if it comes back. Maybe I'll scoop some of the sawdust up there, or sawdust, whatever you want to call it, and put it somewhere else where it's not going to be bothered by the animals. Lots of broccoli. The little dippers are coming in. I've had so many little dippers. So this right here, the yellow flower, is actually broccoli going to seed. Pollinators absolutely love this stuff. I've picked, like I said, a lot of little dippers on here. They are starting to get a little too wormy for me. This is not the grocery store where it's been perfectly cultivated and they only pick the best of the best and they toss the rest, which is actually kind of sad. This is real life gardening. There's worms sometimes. There's blemishes on your tomatoes sometimes. Something gets squashed or funky. Guess what? I'm still going to eat this stuff, okay? I'm still going to eat it. But there becomes a point where there's just too many worms, and I already have enough broccoli that I have blanched and put in the freezer. So that's one thing I'm going to go ahead and shelf and put away and not deal with. I will let all this go to seed, and the pollinators will be humming and buzzing out here, which is cool. And way over here, all this madness is a bunch of squashes, a bunch of different kinds. Lots of pumpkins that I call perfect pumpkins. They're literally like the perfect size for carving, and we love that. Pumpkin seeds are anti-parasitic, which are great for any of your livestock, your animals. Pigs absolutely love them, so we'll pick a lot of that stuff and put it in storage and then kind of give it to them when we are in 2 feet of snow and it's boring as heck and they need something to do. That was work really good. And we got butternut squash, a bunch of other fun squashy types. That mainly we kind of will find, it's like a treasure hunt. That's what I love about the chaos garden. I love about the vining type stuff, because you can leave it there for a really long time. You don't have to do anything with it because it's not going to be good anyways. And then you can come and go on a treasure hunt and find all the good fun stuff. So yeah, okay. I think we're good back there. Some of these recipes of this stuff and how to grow it is going to be in that new cookbook that I'm excited for. We'll see